Now, I expected Donnie's reveal to be something a lot more serious, like a lot crazier. Like Donnie's uncle, I completely expected to be somebody of like really high OP stature. Something just that would be kind of like ridiculous for a little bit because of the hair. I was thinking like Zeldris or something, but Howitzer, it's such a weird twist because I know like some people have compared the vibe that Percival gives off like to Kid Goku, but legitimately this is the most Dragon Ball feeling thing right now is that Donnie being related to like Howitzer being like his family member that seems to be like, quote unquote a big deal, just being Howitzer being one of the Holy Knights. Like he is just gonna be the most OP human given the position he's in, being in the crew of one of the four Knights of the Apocalypse, and having seemingly no important background ties. Literally, his like most impressive thing is being related to a dude who became very swiftly irrelevant in Seven Deadly Sins. So for him, it's like it's just really weird when you think about like this being the reveal, because it's something that's way more simplistic than say like whatever connection it would have been to Zeldris or somebody kind of crazy OP, or like way more of a kind of like important person to like large scale story, like obviously way more vital for just like background pieces. If he was like somehow part demon or whatever, he would have some like chunk, I would imagine, extra importance. But like Howitzer is just really weird because Howitzer wasn't like an important character, but he's like important to regular people within the verse, given he's was high ranking Holy Knight back in Seven Deadly Sins. Obviously, Captain of Leon is Holy Knights now. From the standpoint of a regular Joe, he is powerful, he is important, but like we know that he isn't really that big of a deal in reality. So it's a weird thing going into a situation like this, having this much set knowledge of like who this guy is, like a reveal, like, oh yeah, this is my uncle, Captain of the Holy Knights. And a lot of other series, you would be like, oh, we don't know how powerful this guy is. We don't know how prestigious like that ranking is, or who this guy, like who would he be. But because we have Sally, since it's been 16 years, so he's got to be more powerful. But at the same time, it's like there's no way he was going to get as powerful as, say, like Meliodas or any of like this actual Seven Deadly Sin level people. And there was this other stuff like in the chapter, like the first bits, we kept seeing these parts where these guys were like wrestling, and on top of that, the main cast are just going to look for rooms. They're getting all this stuff kind of set up, just way more kind of casual. But Annie went shopping, and she just like bought personalized stuff for everybody, and spent like all the money that they kind of they had to spend. Like that, since she gave them 10 gold, and Annie already spent like the entirety of it. They wouldn't even have to sleep in a room. And so I was expecting the part where you saw those guys wrestling, like guys just being tough. Like you have Annie using her power to bet on the guy who's winning. It seems like he's bluffing of some kind, and I'm guessing that there's gonna be some relation to him and Donnie, just as a obviously like just as a guess, because they've got the same like I would guess because of the in fact it's black and white, but like my whole kind of nod in there is like the hair color, but also like the sharper chin, like the bigger sharper chin, and they seem to have some form of magical power that they're using to kind of like scam or kind of like just skate by, because Annie says that this guy's lying about something, and he's just suplexing dudes, like beating up on them as they're as they're like 4 or 5 times his size. So there's obviously something a little bit mysterious there, something that she knows that this guy is up to cheat people out of their money. So like I was fully expecting it to be like Percival get in the ring and bet on Percival, and no one would think that he was gonna win, but obviously like because he's very physically strong and sturdy, that he would just completely demolish a bunch of these dudes. Like it'd be no problem whatsoever. But that wasn't the case. You have them just doing their thing. Sin and Annie's interactions, I really liked this chapter, and like there's this like a setup that I can't wait to see more of, just because it's a ticking time bomb of where it can go. You have Sin, who seems to be somebody who lies a lot and doesn't give the full picture of what's going on and what they're doing, and Annie, who can see through lies and isn't afraid to, to call somebody out when she notices like they're lying and they're not being truthful in what they say. Like she's completely fine and on the spot being like, hey, what's this? And those two constantly clashing. It's just a matter of time before Annie forces Sin in a scenario where there has to be some information reveal, and like that's obviously going to be big, because like Sin, like I said, is a character we don't really have much on, and is mysterious. Like the whole thing about getting the Friends of the Forest to come help fight against like the Chaos creatures, but we don't know exactly what Sin's really capable of and like what Sin can do. But like I said, the stuff about Howitzer being Donnie's uncle, I thought was really cool, because it gave some relevancy to someone that didn't have a lot of relevancy in Seven Deadly Sins. It ties Howitzer to, or Donnie to like a specific line, gives us some general Lord of the Ground lore that we can have for him, and like how he connects to a lot of events. The question is like, how is Nakaba going to use this? Like, what is his plan for the story forward that Donnie being related to the Holy Knights is going to like it's going to really amount to something, like it's going to go in a specific direction? Because again, it's strange. It's a really weird turn. If it was like somebody way bigger, I would understand from the standpoint of like giving Donnie some like untapped potential hype, because he's part of, the main cast. He's part of the, Percival's group, one of the Four Knights of the Apocalypse. But no, it's like connected to Howitzer. So I'm so curious as to what his plan is for this character, for Donnie. Donnie like reminds me so much of Krillin. Like it's unbelievable. Like I was saying, like he is the most Dragon Ball feeling character so far, and like you connect him to Krillin, and it's just like the weird, the vibe he has. And obviously the difference with Dragon Ball is you have way further ahead foresight to kind of see the connection of like how he would be towards like someone like Goku, and how OP Goku is, and how Krillin is just a dude. And Donnie's about the same way, it seems like. Donnie's just like some dude who's present and tries not to die whenever something kind of crazy goes on. He's definitely got to get stronger. I'll be really bummed out if Donnie doesn't keep up relevancy, and he's like, his character is just gonna start as like a really weak human with nothing kind of crazy about him. So that setup, I like everything going on right now with like, getting some stuff from Sin, seeing what's going on between Annie and Percival, everything on that side. I want to figure out obviously next chapter, but the thing that has my biggest attention is definitely the stuff with Donnie and Howitzer, because like I said, it's the weirdest plot twist I think that we've had, like personally in the series, because I don't know like I don't really even know where he's gonna go with this, like how he's gonna make this relevant. And it was, again, so unexpected that he would pick somebody of such a smaller stature than like have Donnie related to somebody really important that makes his backstory really important. So he's got some OPness. It's just some dude, just some dude. And like I said, I know that Howitzer is stronger than some random human, but you have to keep in mind the level of threats that are coming up, and obviously the level of threats that the level that has to be at least dangerous enough to be a threat to members of the Seven Deadly Sins, that it's going to happen at some point. Percival and all of them are going to be involved in. So Donnie at some point is going to be exposed to that. We like know how crazy things have to get at least. And Howitzer, I don't know if he's going to be able to compete, or maybe he's grown up in like strength in the last 16 or so years and he's gotten way more powerful. But like I said, that's something that's just going to have to be a mystery until we actually see it demonstrated, until we actually get to the point where we can see him fight. Maybe there'll be some form of breakout this arc, and we'll see what Howitzer is capable of after the last 16 years and doing close to nothing during the Holy War. It'd probably blow him out, but well, who knows? Anyway, other than that, though, comment below, thumbs up the video, friend the like button, subscribe button. This is a pretty fast-rated chapter, and check out my other videos. Other than that, I appreciate everybody's already subscribed, and I thank you all for listening. Bye.